Hey, thanks for joining me. I'm Brittany and I'm coming to you from Fairfax Pilates with a short and sweet upper body workout. So get your reformer set up and ready to go. Okay, welcome back. So we are ready for our upper body workout, and you have set your machine up the way that it needs to be in terms of your gear bar and your stopper, and you've also measured your straps and they are the right length. So once you're ready to go there, we're going to begin with one red spring. Now we're going to start with some upper body chest, kind of forward anterior delts chest exercises. So if you have any shoulder or neck limitations, the spring is basically a suggestion. So I'm going with one red, but if you need to make this lighter, certainly drop the spring tension to a blue and a white, okay, if you're on the STOTT machines. So I'm going to start in a seated position with my legs straight in front of me. Each of your hands gets its own strap. Now your legs are going to just hang straight over. If you're able to sit up comfortably with your feet in the dorsiflexion so you get the hamstring stretch, please do so. And if not, you can certainly let your knees be soft. You can also sit on something. So if you have a lot of tightness in the hip flexors, then please elevate your bottom either by sitting on a cushion or a box or something, okay? So just take a couple of breaths here. If you want to close your eyes, you may. Just think about what you're after with this workout today, and be mindful about how we are going to move and what we're going to work here with intention. So take a deep breath in through your nose, and then we're going to exhale through the lips here. So with just one more breath, breathe in. If you want to even shrug your shoulders here as you breathe in, and then exhale. We're going to let them relax. All right, so those legs are out straight. My hands are at my hips. And I'm going to begin by pressing forward. My hands just glide off the end of the carriage, reach towards the feet. And then my arms are beside my ears as I stack my back up to vertical. And then my arms circle around. Again, we're going to dive forward. Stretch. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Right here, we're dropping the shoulders down, and then we circle the arms around twice more. Flex forward and reach. And then we're all the way up tall. Relax the shoulders. My palms are forward facing as I circle them around. One more. And then all the way up. And then here. So again, you can leave your legs like so. I'm going to go right into hug a tree. So my elbows are just a little soft. As I open my arms out to sides, I'm still keeping my hands in my periphery, meaning I'm not going so wide with my arms that they disappear from my view. I bump into the stopper and my shoulders pinch in the back. Let's not go there. So we're going to keep it active and mindful with the shoulder blades maintaining a little bit of distance away from the spine. Okay, so keep that awareness. My shoulders are down and away from the ears. And one more. Now I'm going to lower my arms, my palms face up, and I'm just going to come straight up and lower back down. Exhaling forward and inhaling return. I'm going about somewhere between shoulder height and the top of my head height. You can play with your range. If you have limitations, please go lower. We don't want anything to feel as if it's straining in the neck. Now, as your hands come forward, at the same time, I am shifting my shoulder blades down. So I'm actively feeling it at the base of my shoulder blades, where those lower traps are actively pulling the scapula down as my arms go forward. All right, now this one's go all the way up and we flip. So now I'm gonna bend my elbows like I'm fixing a low ponytail and then up. Bend and then push. Now I'm not interlacing my hands together like some. If that's your jam, then you can do it. I prefer to have my arms moving independently. It allows me to extend my arm fully and really get the long head of that tricep there. So I suggest keeping those hands independent. All right, now everybody knows I love pulses, so we're gonna add them here. We're gonna go all the way down deep and then just 1 inch pulses at that very deep place. 4 and 5, 6, 1 more. Now push up 2, 3 inches and stop. Now drop the shoulders, pull your tummy in tight, elbows aim forward, and little pulses. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna pause and I'm gonna push up a little bit more. I'm still not completely straightened with my arms, and we do pulses again. 2. Now every pulse, I first feel it in my belly, where I'm really shrink wrapping my waist, and then all the way straight. We're not done. I love hitting the triceps hard. So we're gonna bend the elbows nice and slow for 5 count. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slow push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Twice more. Bending slow. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pushing slow. 2, 3, 4, 5. And again. 2, 3, 4, 5, and push. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do one more for good measure here. 2. You should feel a little quivering in those arms, and if you don't, maybe the weight is a little bit too light, and then we take the arms all the way back around. Okay, perfect. So you can be seated like I was for that one. And in case here, you would just have your legs through the center. If your hip flexors are really not loving this, you can be on your knees. We can also be on the knees for the first one that we did facing the opposing direction. Okay, so I'm gonna come up onto my knees. It's a little bit more of a challenge. You have to balance above your pelvis here. So lay your feet down flat. And I'm gonna choke up. So I'm gonna actually just put my hands at the hardware here at the front where the straps and the handles meet. And I'm painting stripes down and back, and then I return. So my breath is an inhale to pull, and then an exhale, returning. As you pull the arms back, imagine that you have a yoga block in between the knees. So with my stripe backwards with my arms, I'm simultaneously squeezing that invisible yoga block to activate my adductors, so those inner thighs, which is actually part of your powerhouse. So as you pull, you get your triceps and your lats, which are the obvious ones, but then you also get all through your core and making your back strong. All right, we are pulling back and we stay and pulse. I told you we love pulses, right? You don't know I love pulses until you take some of my classes. 6, 7, and then we hold it because I love to burn the triceps, and then we do a tiny bend and push. Now, as we're doing this bend, we haven't forgotten our invisible yoga block that's between the knees, and my shoulders are pulling down and away from my earlobes as low as I can. Those active low traps are involved here. 3 and 2, 1 more, and then reset. Okay, so if you've been up there, you can come down to seated. If you're seated, you just stay. You're rocking it already. So I like to crisscross my ankles and lets my legs fit more comfortably between the shoulder blocks. We need a hand's width back here. Not a ton, just enough to give a little space to move. So for this set, I'm gonna be in biceps and then some abs. We're gonna begin with our backs flat. We sit up tall, and often we lean forward. So as an instructor, I see people really arching to sit up super tall. Let's not do that, okay? If you have a mirror, check yourself in a mirror, but try to sit up nice and tall. If your hip flexors are the loudest muscle that you feel when you're seated like this, put something under your bottom or bend your knees, okay? So it's not about how tight we can be down here, it's how tall can we sit. Elbows are going to be roughly shoulder height and on a little bit of an upward diagonal. So I'm going to keep my back flat and I'm going to tip back, all right? Just enough that I feel the upper abs saying hello, okay? Not crazy, whisper. And then I bicep curl. So as my arms bend, in an optimal position, my elbows and shoulders are roughly aligned. And I am bending my elbows in a way that my hands are moving towards my ears, okay? If you could do this all day, feel free to transition to a single arm bicep curl. Now, the weight obviously gets more substantial for the arm, for the bicep itself, but more so you get this asymmetry in your trunk. So as you pull in a bilateral movement, you'll feel it on one side of the waist and then the other and so on. Okay, so I don't remember if I started on my right or my left, but I think I have one more to do here. So let's even out right and left if you're doing those guys independently, and then go ahead and sit yourself back up and rest. We're going to connect our knuckles together right in the center of the chest. This time we're rounding our backs. We begin with a pelvic floor, so think about pulling up with your belly, and then we tuck and we roll. Roll back enough that you feel your abs. So now I am aiming for 1 to 2 inches lower than my belly button as the main abdominal muscle that I want to trigger. So as I rock back here, I'm scooping my butt under so that I can really feel that working. Now I'm going to point my toes, my legs are active, and I'm going to twist, pass through middle, twist, and twist. Now I'm not moving the machine. I am simply allowing my back to feel amazing. I've got some pops and cracks already where everything is realigning and adjusting, which is so beautiful. But get some mobility here. We need to be strong and flexible. Our bodies need to be pliable, more resistant to injury. Okay, find yourself in the center, and then we're just going to come forward, and I'm actually going to round, and I'm going to just simply reach forward. And then we're back up on top. Now I'm going to build on to that last one. Knuckles together, center of the chest, relax the neck. We tuck our tails under as we exhale and roll backwards. Again, really scooping your booty under so that you feel your lower belly. And now we twist. So I'm in that same twist as I was started. This time I'm going to open the newspaper. And then I'm going to close the newspaper and I'm twisting to the opposite side. And I'm going to read this on our page over here. And then the hands are together. And then we twist. So as we're opening the arms, don't allow your shoulders to creep up next to your ears. I always joke that my shoulders are ear poison. So you want to keep the shoulders away from the ears, always. And that's 3 per side, back to the center. And then again, I'm going to stretch forward. Now I'm still on that one red spring. I haven't changed my springs, but feel free to adjust your springs. Going down again, reminder, is 1 blue, 1 white on a STOTT machine. On a lot of others, it's a blue and a yellow. Or of course, you can add a white spring and go up. Okay, back rowing. So it's kind of building on to those first couple of moves that we've done. We're going to start with a round back. So we're going to curve our back here as we roll back. Okay, now here's where it gets fancy. I love fancy. Okay, so, but let's be mindful. So we're going to tuck our hips under and then we open out. Now, don't fight with these straps. They're going to work themselves out so that they're facing in the right direction. So no worries about where the hands are. Keep hold of the grip and we're going to open. Now I've rotated so my palms face back. My shoulders and my hands are almost in alignment in terms of height, and I'm going to pull back, and then I'm going to let my arms travel forward, and then I'm going to pull back. trying to keep my hands in the same plane as my shoulders in terms of height. My abs are working, so make sure that your lower belly is on fire. Okay, now I'm pulling, 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 and then I'm gonna hold and I'm gonna dive forward. Now, Stott and me, we like our hands a little bit wider. Those classical folks come back here a little bit. I prefer here. You do what you need. Let's start easy. We're gonna drop the arms down to the floor, release the tension, stretch to those feet, and then we back up and we start again, okay? So this time, once I go back, I'm gonna take my arms up and around. That isn't great for everybody, so if you need to do the modification, you're gonna take your arms down like I just showed you. Here we go again. Breath in, prepare. And then exhale, we curve backwards. Inhale, the arms open wide. I like to add those arm pumps. So we go backwards and forwards. Exhale back. Inhale front. Twice more. Pull. Return. Hold. Ooh, that burns. We go over. Now this time you go up like butterfly stroke in the pool. Up and around. Carriage stops. You don't. Keep going. And then we're up. Again, exhale, we curve. Inhale, we open. Exhale, we pull and forward. And pull and forward. One more time. We pull those arms back. Pause the arms. Dive over the legs. Up and around we go with the arms. Stretch. And we're up. Okay, now that was a round back. Now we're doing the flat back. So I'm going to change my feet just so that I create that alignment through my back and posture. So this time I'm going to have my elbows up here aligned with my shoulders and my back pretty straight. From here, I'm simply going to tip back, flat back, and then back up. Tip, and then return. It's kind of like a tree. Just timber, falls back, and then up. Now we're adding some biceps. So lean back, and I'm gonna bicep curl. Now my palms turn in, and I'm gonna take off a top hat, push it right over my head. Keep my arms by my ears as I sit up as tall as humanly possible. I'm gonna hinge forward from my hips. Okay, I've hit the stopper. So now, push, butterfly stroke, reach for the feet, and then we're up. Easy, right? Here we go. Inhale, hinge, biceps. Exhale, overhead press. Inhale, we lengthen through our spine as we reach forward. Exhale, round your back, push the arms. Up and around they go. Lengthen and stretch. Exhale, we're up. Lean back, overhead. Sit up tall, stretch, and lean forward. Point those toes, scoop and pull the arms behind you. Up and around they go. Stretch. One more, lean back, overhead. Stack it up. Reach, 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 reach. Push the arms to the back. They circle around. Whew. And then I'm gonna just hang these guys up because look, I'm right here. Okay, perfect. So now we're gonna move through a plank. So I put my headrest up one, just to give your feet a little place to go. I've already have my one red spring on. I'm gonna be really kind at the beginning and give everybody a blue. So we're at 1.5 springs, one red, one blue. Hands on foot bar, feet are on the headrest. Now, I'm gonna take my elbows and I'm gonna pull them back so that I am in a better alignment in my neck. My heels are dropped back and I'm gonna push and return. So important here that you're using your lats so that we're not over tensing in the neck and the shoulders. Keep those lats on. 4 and 3, 2, and one more, please. And then just go ahead and take the knees down. Okay, now I'm gonna transition completely light and I'm gonna remove the red, leaving just the blue. So my feet are now widening up against the shoulder block and I'm gonna leave my knees down. This is a modified version. So if this is better than the first one, you're gonna do this twice, okay? So drop the hips forward. Now, immediately people usually shrug their shoulders, so pull the shoulders down. And I like to just let my feet rest on top, push back, it's the exact movement as before. You don't have the assistance to return home that you did with the heavier spring, so you really have to use the lats to pull your body over the foot bar. 3. Use that outer line of the arm, so pinky side edge of the hand, forearm, bicep, and into the lats. Last time. Inhale, we go away. Exhale, we come in. Okay, so I'm going to add on white spring. So I now have a blue and a white. So setting yourselves up for Mermaid. I've got a little side saddle position here. One shin is touching against both shoulder blocks, and my foot is behind the shoulder block in the back. Your job is to sit comfortably, which is easier said than done. So if your knees are not comfy, let this one hang off, let that one hang off, sit on a box. However you can upright your back as much as you can, do that. Put your hand on the foot bar. We're going to push away, and the outer arm comes overhead, and we try to create this rainbow shape on the outside of the waist. Watch that this inside shoulder doesn't meet your ear. And we're going to rotate, and we're going to open the hands, and we're really pushing. So that first hand that was on is really pushing. The one that just joined, I'm going to pull to get the traction across my upper thoracic spine. Feels amazing. Bring my hand back to the front, and we come out the way we went in. Rest this hand down, foot bar arm goes up, and we laterally bend towards our tower side. Again, being mindful that we're not scrunching here, so tension free near the head and neck. We're going to go one more time. So inhale, we go up, and exhale, we turn over. And then just any breathing pattern here as you push with the first hand and pull with our second. Visualize more space between the upper back. Bring that hand a bit more forward, up and out. We're going to go up and over. Okay, and I'm going to turn around, so apologies that my back will be to you briefly, but we're going to sit in the same way. So making sure that the shin tries to be flush up against the shoulder blocks. One hand on the bar, and we go up and over, and we add that rotation here, moving the hand back. First hand pushes, second hand pulls. You try to create as much rotation through your spine as possible. Bring the hand forward, top arm goes up, and then our foot bar arm reaches above our head and over towards our tower. Okay, we got one more to do here. So we're going to press away from the foot bar. Up and over we go. Twist, hands on, rotate. Really trying to create as much space across our upper back as we can. Move the hand forward. We rotate out and laterally bend. Okay, so that is it. As promised, short and sweet upper body. So I know some of you are just doing little bits and pieces depending on how you're feeling. So hopefully that quick little upper body workout was sufficient to get your heart pumping and some muscles building. So have a great day. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.